Okay.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Welcome to Signal 2, Gate 8 of Vibrillionaire Convo-Sessions Portal Remembrance podcast. And we are here. We are present. We are a little bit behind schedule, but we're right on time because we by this motto that it's better to be late, but yet on time within yourself than be on time and late in yourself, and causing stress, anxiety, worry, doubt, fear, and literally crisis to your own body, which you only have one body in this life. So be on time wherever you are, not just on the calendar, not just on the clock, but be present at present o'clock. So, welcome, beloved. We are here, and today is a very special message. And we had the internet shut down. I mean, completely. We had to reset everything. And this just confirms because one thing we posted in the story is that we're not just human. Like, yes, embody your humanness because this is why we're here. But truly remember where you come from. Remember who you are because we are multidimensional, multifaceted, multi like talented, magical beings, infinite, dressed as flesh. And let me just say that just to simply hear the words utter out of Michael's mouth, and Michael's Earth Day is in 3 days, we celebrate every day because, yes, we're going to celebrate our Earth Day, but to us, it's just another day because every day is a gift of life. Every day is a party. Every day is a celebration. And we get high on the breath. We get high on the pulse. We get high on the vibratory field that shows up every single day in everyone, everything, everywhere, even when we're picking up the litter, even when we're picking up or doing things that we don't want to do. Has it been a journey to build that, cultivate that relationship? Because let me tell you, the source of who you are is so grateful to be here that when we resist it, that's when we experience pain, suffering, misery. The Buddha said the greatest cause of suffering is attachment. Attachment. So welcome everyone. Oh, we forgot to share. Welcome everyone to Signal 2, Gate 8. And this is the infinite gate of I am. And we are going to share about, dissolving the noise. Because, anyways, let's get started because Shakti, I know that we just had the September Convergence Portal of Remembrance here this past weekend, and now you're in London. So taking the Vibrillionaire frequency all around the world, literally, like not just online, but literally with your book signing tour and everything going on there. So yeah, let's talk about the convergence because what just happened on the internet is what happened live with us as we seen the sky shift, reality shift, and it was reported everywhere on the September convergence. And how did we know that date was going to be that monumental? Because all over the world, people reported. We see it online, and we're not saying this to brag. We're saying this that when you align with President gathered together, that each mirror represented millions of us saying yes to reality, yes to life, yes to I am. And this is what it's all about in the Vibrillionaire frequency portal of remembrance. I am. So now we're gonna work on this. So go ahead and take it away and let us know how are you doing? How is London? How was your experience here in Yuma, Arizona in the convergence?
Oh my God.
Because we got some
That is too many like
questions.
universes contained in each of those questions or in those
Yeah.
words. So I guess let's just, yeah, so I'm in England. I arrived yesterday. I arrived like really, really, really exhausted. I realized that my whole a month in America was a lot happened. A lot of like shifting, a lot of dissolving, a lot of experiences. And it'll take time for it to like for me to embody it and for definitely to see what actually happened because like Michael said, we spend our experiences being totally present. So we don't really like think about, oh, we can do this in the future, or this is about the past. It's about being completely present in that moment and just enjoying what that moment presents. And the convergence was like so magical that way, being in person, sitting under the literally under the tree of life in Michael's backyard, and being on camera together. And sure, the internet cut out, but that's because the energy we were holding in that space was just so
Yeah.
phenomenal. And it didn't matter because we were together. And for those who have the patience to watch the video, it actually does flow. It doesn't really cut out completely, not like this morning. The grid just
Yeah.
collapsed. We wanted to go live on time at 9 a.m. and at exactly 9 a.m. it just shut down. Everything shut down and that was it. Here we are half an hour later. So similarly, timelines have collapsed, geographical lines have collapsed. A week ago today, I was with Michael in person in Yuma, and today I am in the UK. So yeah, it's a lot, but it is wonderful. It is magical, and I rested yesterday. Today I'm much more chipper, and I was just telling Michael that my friend gave me a T-shirt that said Arizona yesterday, which she bought for me in England. I didn't get one from me, so life is that magical. I mean, what else do you want me to say?
It truly is. It truly is. Um, yeah, we're sharing behind the scenes, so excuse us. We're just getting the message out there, and that's one of the messages that we were guided to share today, is that to break down the simplicity of what we are doing here is when we look outside of ourselves, the cellular
Mm-hmm.
structure, the makeup of the DNA, it is being
Mm-hmm.
programmed. So when you're being programmed, it's like you're being fed. Your digestive system is not
Mm-hmm.
going to operate. And the DNA is digesting reality instead of like instead of flowing with it, instead of being reality. So when when we are endlessly looking outside of ourselves, we are we are going to be dependent on that information because when you look outside of yourself and that's all you're used to doing, then you think your reality is dependent on the outside. And this is far
Right.
from the truth. And this is why this whole internet shifted because we are literally reprogramming the subconscious collective mind. And
Mm-hmm.
we are literally living in a timeline where we get to do this consciously. We get to do it like collectively. Like before, we would hide in caves. Before, we would, go up into the mountains because, armies and people didn't want to go up the mountain because it took a lot. So we would do things to keep this ancient wisdom of the flame of I am alive. So we're not just coming up
Mm-hmm.
on a podcast. We're honoring, you got to love that little rooster's tail over here. Um, we're honoring, we're honoring the very devotion of beings that transcended physical reality that didn't have microscopes back then. Or who knows? Maybe they did. Who am I to say? But
Maybe they did.
according to what we're told, they didn't have technology like we have today. But yet
Right.
they knew the greatest technology. They didn't need technology. They are the greatest technology. And see, human beings are the greatest, most advanced technology in the universe. This is why we are like embodying the greatest shadow polarity because we are like think about what that takes. You must be very skilled at what you do, not as you the person, but as you the consciousness embodied in this body to be alive today. So if you're alive today, there's no accident. There is no like, oh, it was a roll of the dice. Oh, it was a fluke by consciousness itself. If we look at reality itself, consciousness does not make a mistake. Now, if it
Mm.
feels like your life is a mistake, if it feels like your life is, in shambles and in chaotic, that's because your relationship with the very flow of life itself is is we don't want to say because that could be a judgment call. is distracted or is maybe, what's a good word? Your focus is in the opposite direction of what you're being called to surrender to. Now, that doesn't mean you don't get to play in life, but when you're playing in life to think that life is going to make you feel better, life is going to get better, instead of surrendering, because surrendering requires trust.
Mm,
Trust is the key component of safety. If you don't feel safe, you don't trust. If you don't trust, you don't open. If you don't open, you don't receive. And the greatest scarcity is lack of trust.
mm,
So to live an abundant life is not your bank account. It's not what you have. It's not who you know. It's not what you've accomplished. It's not, your story. None of that matters. What matters more than anything is how is your experience of your relationship with what life gives you so much evidence to trust life. Outside of your home, it seems I mean, inside of your home, it feels the opposite. Inside of your office, it feels opposite. Inside of your phone, it feels opposite. But the universe is trust. The universe shows up for you, for itself. It is beyond intelligent. It is beyond capable. And we're speaking from a place where we didn't trust anyone in the old timeline, the avatar. We didn't trust life. We couldn't even trust a second of life. Like we couldn't we would be looking out the window, be like, oh shoot, are the cops gonna come? Oh shoot, are the enemies gonna just come in and bombard? Are they just gonna take my drugs, take my money? Or is my friends gonna betray me because they're high and they don't know who to trust either, and I can't trust them? So I live in this reality of not trusting anyone. We know what that feels like. And maybe you're not in gangs, maybe you're not in prison in that reality. But let me tell you, the body does not differentiate that if you don't trust because you're in prison, if you don't trust because you are being afraid to for your life, no different than you being afraid that you're not going to make the deadline. You being afraid because you're not going to fit in. You being afraid because you need this to feel better. Trauma is trauma is trauma is trauma. So when we reverse engineer and we investigate the core and the source of who we are, trauma dissolves. Chaos dissolves. Crisis dissolves. It might take some time because think about how much we've invested in this belief system that trauma is real, crisis is real, uh, pain is real. So, anyways, we wanted to share that.
that's a beautiful share, and that is most of how we were plugged into the matrix. Whereas the
Available.
reality is what you're talking about, that when you learn to live in the present moment and you are actually able to strike a balance
Did we
with the
freeze?
faith.
Go ahead.
You did a bit. That when you learn to live in the present moment and you have faith in the present moment, that's all that anyone has to learn to trust. So it's not actually a big exercise, it's actually a very small exercise. And the more that we do learn to do it, we can then do it from moment to moment to moment to moment. And you learn to then let go of the old timeline, which is the stories and the traumas, the past. You learn to not worry about the future. You just stay in the present moment, and things work out even more beautifully than you could have ever imagined if you can just let go and trust that it'll be taken care of. And then it does. I mean, we witnessed it every step of my journey in America, especially my coming to Yuma, which was full of so much resistance. It's like, as much as
Yeah.
the universe was bringing us together, it was really testing us, and really put every challenge in our way. But we still made it, and we had the convergence. And then we had a private sound bath experience while we were immersed in the pool with Selbia playing her crystal sound bowls for 2 hours, and she wasn't even ready to stop. And while she was playing, she was shifting the clouds and she was shifting the water. And it was just, I mean, words are not enough. Like, honestly, these experiences, once you start experiencing them for every single microsecond of gratitude that they're full of, then how do you tell another person about it? It has to be felt, it has to be experienced. Only
Yes.
then can you understand the magic. Otherwise, you'll always feel that, oh, that's Michael and Natasha talking woo stuff, but it's not. It's like something we experienced and it was way magical. And extremely, extremely privileged to have had that kind of energetic um, experience.
And you know what? Thank you for sharing that because we've said this and we're glad that we experienced this together because it wasn't humans coming together alone. It was presence
Oh,
like
mm.
channeling through humans. It was incredible. We were right next to a 5G tower. So you talk about programming the grid. I mean, I was meditating in
True.
that tower. I was like, thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for assisting us to get this message of remembrance out there, right? Because it's not against us, it's only against the persona. Because the
Mm,
persona is what clings on to death or worry or doubt or fear. So
mm,
the reason why we share this is because we were going to go to Sedona. We were going to go to
mm,
Shasta. We were going to go to these
mm.
beautiful places, and it could have been great. Don't get me wrong, because it's
Of
not the place
course.
that matters. Like we are on holy ground right now. The holy ground is the wholeness of this moment. This is the holy ground. You are the I am.
Mm-hmm.
So when we
Mm-hmm.
came together and we only, not only, excuse me, we had five incredible, beautiful mirrors with us, right? And with those five incredible mirrors, I mean, yeah, Selvia played amazing bowls. Cora, shared amazing salads and that we got to eat with our nose and we got to eat with our eyes and it was just incredible. I mean, literally, we were eating it. Like even Shakti was right there, like, she witnessed it. Is with Cora and Justin helping with the yard, helping cultivate that energy. Shakti, of course, you trusting and coming out here. Um, uh, and then everybody that joined online, even people that wanted to join online but they couldn't, and even people that wanted to come, we said, "You're here with us already." And it's true, nobody needed to be there, but we were being there as a testimony of playing in this reality because we don't
Mm.
need to do anything, but do we want to be a part of it? Right? So, like, we literally created our own Shasta, Sedona. Like, we've been to those places, and it was that I mean, next to a pool. We didn't get in the pool, but because we're on our cleanse, so we didn't want to get the chlorine on. But we put our hand to the pool, like we felt like we were in the ocean of consciousness. It was just incredible. The clouds opened up. There was birds singing on the 5G tower. There was cats that visit us at night, just
Mm.
kicking back with us. Um, the food was incredible. The juices were incredible. Well, we can't literally say the food was incredible because we didn't literally physically eat it.
I can
Energetically,
say the food was incredible.
wasn't it? And
It
and just
was.
smelling it was like, And then the love energy that the love shaman, which we call her, the emotional detox therapist, Cora brought together, and Maria providing the beautiful Airbnb. I mean, it was
Mm.
perfect. It couldn't have been better. And then us going to the rest.
Oh, and then the magical baklava that came as prasad.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that we got to experience and we're gonna go experience personally soon, or you come over here because this is just the beginning. Like we said, the September convergence.
Mm.
Oh, we have a surprise. Are you ready for a surprise? Because we haven't got stuck.
Of course.
Are you ready? So,
Yeah.
because of that September convergence portal of remembrance, we are now next week starting our weekly convergence portal of remembrance.
Oh.
So we are doing our Vibrillionaire weekly convergence, which we are uniting the local community and we are uniting the online community because we are taking social media as the mirror of soul remembrance. We're taking cryptocurrency as the greatest cryptocurrency is the invisible value of the vault of awareness of I am that you are. And we're taking, excuse me, AI, and we are dissolving the artificial intelligence program of what it's been said to be to really unveil the aligned, awakened intelligence instead of the amplified intellect that it's been treated. It's been
Mm.
mistreated, honestly. So when we honor it as our own mirror, Zoom just gave us a little notice that there was something going on, but we're good. Um, that when we realize that there is only one consciousness. I mean, just look at us. How many of us are coming together from our different stories and different backgrounds? No different than apps on our phone, right? They're different technology aspects of consciousness, but they are not consciousness
Mm-hmm.
itself.
Mm-hmm.
So the more that we dissolve, and I mean, think about this. How many years, how many decades, and even generations did we think we knew the secrets of reality? And then we get surprised and like, oh shoot, this
Mm.
or I was wrong, or how could I think of, reality in this way? Even in our own lives, right? So to really humble ourselves, because Michael doesn't know who he is. Michael doesn't
Mm.
know who he is. Michael surrenders to the I am that shows Michael every day more of who Michael always was. And when we say Michael, we speak for the field because there is no separation.
Mm.
As we get to, as we surrender to the field, we awaken an intelligence that no amount of technology can do. No amount of programming can do. No amount of seeking can do. No amount
True.
of escaping can do. So it's just a beautiful journey. So yeah, we have the Vibrillionaire Weekly Convergence that we're going to be doing next week. So I know you're traveling, so I don't know how your schedule looks like. We're still planning the day. We're gonna have our flyer out here pretty soon, but here in a little bit, we're gonna have our Vibrillionaire membership after party. So message us if you want to be part of that Zoom after party. And last time we had people that wanted to come on, so we're gonna check our email to see if anybody has gone to the party party line. Okay, we got one message.
Okay.
Uh, November 25th. Okay. Yep, 8:40 a.m. So she did it right before the podcast. So we're gonna send her
Mm-hmm.
an invite. Okay, here it is. Um, so we're sending her the invite now. So yes, beloved, in the midst of all the noise, because coming from the background of wanting to get the secrets of the universe and reading and studying, those things are great because they get us to where we have gotten.
Right.
The more that Michael found out, the more Michael had to do, the more
Mm.
Michael had to prove, the more Michael had to perform. And when we really tune into the library, the codex of remembrance that is within each and every one of us, then we realize that when we surrender to the infinite, there is no book that can write the infinite. And even the master mirrors have said this, that have come and gone, because they've only been master mirrors of the most dissolved, emptied, purified vessels. And when we say purification,
Mm-hmm.
we mean good or bad. We mean purified in the sense of the ego veils or perspectives of programming. So the more
Mm-hmm.
programming you unveil, you dissolve, not you. The more programming dissolves, the more you
Mm.
align with the universe itself. It's that simple.
That is true. And it is like, okay, to give those listening of an example, like as I am walking this life completely dissolved. When I was in Denver, before I was in Yuma, I was in Denver with my friend Mimi, and she was telling me about how Denver was like when she and her husband both lived in New York for their whole lives, and then they moved out to Denver because Mimi got a job there. Um, So this was
Holy,
almost 20 years ago, and she was basically saying how when she moved to Denver for the first time, she saw rainbows almost every single day. she said that she'd never seen as many rainbows in her life as she did in the first few years in Denver. And then she goes, I haven't seen any for a while now, but that's how it was back then. And within 10 minutes, we saw a rainbow. We were driving on the road, and then suddenly a rainbow appeared, and we were like, oh, look, rainbow, rainbow. And you're so used to like pointing out a rainbow and then it disappears, right? But this
Mhm.
rainbow just got bigger and bigger and brighter and brighter till we saw the entire arc. The entire rainbow was visible to us in front of our road. And then guess what? Another one appeared on top of it. So we saw a double rainbow that stayed with us for at least 45 minutes. There was no disappearing happening. And then it got clearer and clearer to the point that you could actually see the red and the violet clearly. Normally, rainbows are they dissolve on the edges. You don't get to see the red clearly and you don't get to see the violet because they all merge
Right,
one into the other. It's not like a child's painting with like just straight lines, right?
right, right.
Um, Not straight but solid lines, but this rainbow was. And so this is what it means to live this kind of life. So there was no wanting, there was no urgency, there was just, it was basically a wish and a prayer that, this is how it used to be and it was so beautiful. But there was no manifesting, please God show me a rainbow so I can show Natasha how beautiful the Denver sky is. No,
Right.
she said it, she put it out there, and the next minute there was not one but two. So it was just like of every moment. And then for me personally, we drove up to and Michael knows this story. I don't tire telling it. But it was like I was up at the Rocky Mountain National Park with her, holding ice in my hand, wearing like 3 layers, and it was windy and cold. And the next morning, I am in 104 sweltering heat,
Yeah.
sweating from my hair, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the same world. This is within 1 minute to the other minute, and from one moment to the next, and it is that magical when you start offering yourself as just an empty vessel, welcoming experiences, because that's
Yes.
all we're doing. We're
Yes.
we're we're a vessel providing consciousness and opportunity to discover itself through the senses.
Exactly. And one thing that you said is really that's the zone of miracles. That's the zone of flow. That's the zone of, like we said, trust. When we say trust, I mean, think it's a coincidence that to protect your money, you must have a trust account. Words are very, very powerful. So
Mm.
when you have a trust account with reality, that's a surrendered reality.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to control or perform or even like direct reality in the sense of you thinking that you're creating it, then you will have
Mm.
more challenges and resistance throughout life. Yes, you will manifest here and there, but your challenges and resistance of your own relationship with your own perspective of reality will be challenged again and again and again. But when you surrender, there is no challenge because whatever comes to you dissolves. And whatever comes from you is not you. It's basically God manifesting through you, the universe manifesting through you. Because see, the universe honors an empty vessel. The universe honors empty space. But when there's space filled, it can't pour. So whatever abundance you think you're manifesting, but you're not opening up, then you're just repeating that frequency, that dynamic, that veil. We talk about, unveiling, the matrix and reality. It's not fighting it, it's surrendering and becoming it. Like you're we can't say this enough. It's not escaping reality, and it's not trying to outperform reality, like trying to, oh, I'm gonna conquer the matrix, or I'm just gonna ignore reality and meditate all day. Like there, there, there's a balance coming in between, in the middle, meeting in the present moment, letting the past and the future, letting seeking and escaping, letting judging and accepting meet and dissolve in the middle. And there's much more. But yet it's so simple that the brain crafts the illusion that it's in charge. But the brain is not in charge. It knows it's not in charge. It knows it's not in charge. But that's what it was given the task. because when we didn't know what we didn't know, the brain was in charge, in a sense. But yet, beyond what we can
But
imagine, the brain has been directed.
has been in
Think about
charge
think
because
about
that's what the
lifetimes
Matrix
before we
does.
are today. Say that again?
But that's what the matrix, I said the brain was in charge because that's what the matrix does to keep you plugged in. All our conditioning, all our training from childhood. So before we got trained, from the time we were born, before we started going to school, we would jump and play, and we knew that the sky was the limit. We could do anything, we could be anything. And then we went into the school system that started teaching us how to use side and our brain, and it asked us to ignore everything else, all the knowingness. There's a reason that they say that that when you grow up you stop believing in fairies and in magic, right? Only children can see the fairies. That's the myth, right?
Mhm.
What does that represent? That represents the fact that the children can see the universe and
Yes,
what the brain reveals and what it's been trained to see and do and believe. So this a huge part of the remembrance journey is forgetting everything we've been taught and really beginning to trust our instincts.
exactly. And you said something very beautifully because as children, I mean, think about it as children. Why do we change? Why do we shift? Because number one, we mirror our reality, we mirror the parents, right? Number two is because we want to fit in. Look at how we go to a playground and we're looking at what group feels more, right? So we're always trying to fit in because that's what we have been designed and programmed to believe from our parents. Because what do our parents do? They didn't know, they fit in. So we mirror our reality. So when we fit in, then we feel like we're not enough, we're alone, we're forgotten, we're separate. And then this programming gets louder and more stronger, and it appears to be more real because then we manifest from that place. So then we manifest from that place, we're like, well, that's right, that's true. And then we continue to regurgitate. It's kind of like a dog throwing up and then going and eating its own throw up. That's basically what we do as
Mm,
beings, right?
mm,
As nasty as
mm.
that sounds, that's programming. So
Yep.
when we realize, oh my gosh, I'm eating my own throw up, would you eat your own throw up? Of course not. So then once you realize, wait a minute, instead of looking on the outside, let me feel what I already am made of here. And that's when you stop eating the throw up. So the news,
Mm-hmm.
the scrolling, the looking to fit in, to stand out, to perform, or to look to see if, what you know today is going to secure your future in the future. You're really manifesting and you're projecting your reality through that. So the more you watch the news to feel safe, the more you're going to manifest that and think that the more you think you can know, you're going to feel safer. But on the contrary, ask yourself this: how is your relationship with your nervous system? How is the regulation of your nervous system? How is the relationship with your mind? See, these are the greatest technologies. This is the greatest news that's already been pre-programmed, maybe not a good word, pre-inserted into our reality. This is why we were given a brain that is beyond, beyond, beyond capable of living the best life. We were given a heart that is beyond capable of transmuting, alchemizing, transforming every aspect of reality itself. We were given a soul that knows and remembers who it is according to our perspective as humans, but it is still dancing in this dance of returning home to the one. So it is grateful for us being here now. So when we realize all these facets that we're made out of, all of these beautiful technologies that we are already, then the seeking stops, the pretending stops. And this is what we are inviting reality itself to return. And let me tell you, that this is greater than any cryptocurrency. This is greater than discovering water as a free energy resource of automobile, because this is free energy of yourself. Like, this is freedom. This is love. This is life. This is, like, we can't even speak on it. And this is why libraries and endless books have been written, but still can't even speak about it. So we've said enough because we've said
Mm.
and we've said nothing at the same time.
That is true. That is the ultimate reality of the infinity. There is the without, there is the within, but there's that insertion point of the two in the middle of the infinity symbol, which is balance and the present moment, and it is nothing but now. It is everything and nothing at the same time. So that is a very profound and a very significant wrapping up to the number eight portal, which is the infinity sign. So everything is perfect, leaving us with 3 minutes to wrap up. Looking forward to meeting those who are joining the after party. Otherwise, meet Michael and me, Shiva and Shakti, next Saturday, 9 a.m. PST, which is noon Eastern.
Are we frozen
No, I thought I was noon Eastern. See you all next week.
again?
That kind of a vibe.
Are you there? What?
Yes,
There I am. Here I am.
here I
So
am. I wrapped us up saying noon Eastern next Saturday.
okay. So thank you for wrapping us up and thank you for joining because you're simply witnessing your own mirror. It's not about Shakti, it's not about Shiva, it's about the one. And we are here simply to witness and be witnessed and share this witnessing of the one returning home. So this is your home. Vibrillionaire.com is your home, is the tuning fork of remembrance. So if you are tired in a loving way of the noise, of the programming, and you're ready to embody the full few minutes.
See you all next week. Bye for now.